Okay, we are live and on the air, so to speak. Better on air than no air, I suppose. Whatever, choke me up. Hi, Jeannie. Hi, Laura. Hi, Barb. Hi, Patsy. I hope you can see us and hear us and everything. Okay. And how's everybody doing today? Looks like Patsy says it's as hotter than blue blazes. What's a blue blaze? Glenna's here. Hi, Glenna.
It's only 21 degrees out here, and that's about 70 Fahrenheit. So
Yeah. So just let us know if you can hear us okay. I'm assuming you can see us because I know you can see us because I can see ourselves on my monitor, my iPad. So I just don't have the volume turned up on that because then we'll get an echo if I turn it up to hear the sound. And we'll just give everybody a couple of more seconds here
yes,
to get
we
it.
can see and hear you.
Okay, that is good to know, Laura, because if you couldn't, there would be no point for doing this. Hi, Marilyn. Hi, Angel. And so I hope everybody is well and the weather is okay where you are. Yes, hot. You know, it's okay. I don't mind the heat. I'd rather have the heat than the snow. Sherry says that is hot. What, 21? Not really. 21 is comfortable. Yeah, that's Celsius as well. No, hot is when it starts getting up to 26, 27, 30 Celsius, and then that's hot. Sounds a little low until I turned up my earbuds. Oh, okay, Patsy. Your earbuds are your hearing aid, dear. Hi, Jan, and you're welcome. Jan sent me an email earlier. She was about the Celtic table runner. Yes, you do spot a new shirt, and so let's get right into it then. We'll get started. People will be joining us.
I'm wearing it, but I still haven't finished it.
Well, what's left to do on it?
I want to put a pocket on it.
Oh, I didn't see a pocket. I thought it was your invisible pocket.
No, I got to do it. I was going to do it today, and then I didn't get around to it. But yeah, it's still wearable though.
Oh no, it looks like there was something on the collar. It's just the mottled
collar of the
fabric.
The fabric's mottled, so
mottled. No hearing aids yet. So yep. So Walter's been sort of busy on his shirt.
I'm supposed to be starting a pair of shorts tomorrow, but our pattern. The guy that's teaching the class did a pattern review, and I wanted to. I haven't got my material cut out yet. I got to fix my pattern, so I got to do that before tomorrow night.
Well, did you ever get the video?
No, I didn't. He's supposed to send the video of the what we need for the pattern review. I was there when I saw the pattern review, but there's a couple of things I'm a little unclear on. So, and I don't know. He seems to be AWOL. I haven't heard from him or anything. So
yeah, maybe he's just giving up. Oh, Shirley's here. Hi, Shirley. That's around Do It. For those of you that don't know, that's Shirley. Check out her YouTube channel. You've been working this week, girl. You've been putting up a whole lot of videos, I noticed, about different things. So good for you. Sherry says, I used to make all my clothing. Not sure where to start these days. Yeah. Laura says, I like how you did the inside of the collar and sleeve ends at a different color. And are you going to do the pocket with a different color?
No, I'm not. I think I'm just going to do invisible pocket. I like invisible pockets. I mean, I could if I wanted.
Yeah, I'd like the invisible pocket better anyway. So, so anything else you've been working on this week? How's our garden?
Yeah, it's growing.
And the hair.
Yeah, I did that shirt last year for Steve. So.
What about my hair? Actually, I need a haircut. I've got one
scheduled
for this week.
I gotta go get one too.
And the hair. Okay. Whatever. On it. You got my white, not completely gray. A little thin though. But a little thin. Watch the glare off of Walter's head. Yeah. So anyways, slowly but surely. Oh, Shirley, you're just funny today. You into the rosé, dear? But anyways, yeah, so I've been sort of busy this week on things, mostly frustration, as I'm going to show you right now. I'm just going to switch over to my screen so you can see my latest project here. Screen. Make sure I hit the right button. So there you go. This is that quilt that I've been talking about. It's called With Glowing Hearts, and it has been one hell of a bitch to make. But this is not the quilt. I gave up. That pattern was driving me nuts. So I gave up. I decided to salvage what blocks that I had made and add some more fabric to it and other things with it. It had a panel that came with this. Well, it didn't come with it. You had to get as well for this. And that's where you see the things that say Canada on those and the maple leaf. Those are actually cut out of a panel. But I fooled around with this thing. I was determined I was going to make something, but it's definitely not the original pattern that was there. So this is my version of With Glowing Hearts. And actually, I'm kind of happy with it now, but it was quite the horrendous thing. And then, just to add insult to misery, yesterday I found that Northcott has put up a series of videos by the person who designed the pattern showing you how to make the various blocks. But her instructions in the video are not exactly the same as the instructions in the printed version. And in fact, on one of the blocks that I made, there had to be mitered corners. Now, I've done mitered corners before, but she was using a special tool for that and explaining how to use it. It never said in the instructions that you needed to go out and buy this special tool to do the mitered borders. So I am not thrilled with this designer. I will never buy another pattern if I see her name on it. She deals in 1/8 of an inch, and I hate 1/8 of an inch or 3/8 of an inch or 5/8 of an inch or 7/8 of an inch, because it just makes putting your blocks together even more complicated, in my opinion. And so, yeah, here's the end result. But I did have some fabric left over and some pieces I was putting together and trying to see what would they look like, and I decided I didn't like them. But I took some of those and I made them into a table runner. Now, both the quilt and the table runner haven't been quilted yet. They're my next project. And I even had a couple of blocks left over still, and I don't have a picture of this, but I've decided I'm making those into pillow covers. Decorative pillow covers as well. So, yeah, had my work cut out for me, but I won't do a pattern like this again. And I've also been working on the 3D print. Oh no, I forgot. This one I didn't make recently. I made this last year, but this is Pride Month, and we're going to talk about that. So this is on for the month of June, hanging on our front door. That's one that I made. All of those maple leaves that are in the rainbow colors were all individually embroidered. And then I patchworked them together. Actually, I'm very happy with this, except in the very bottom row, I still don't know whether I should have had the maple leaves at that facing upwards instead of upside down. I was thinking at the time I put it together, it's kind of a continuous circle. So, if you go around from top down the side, it would be upside down there than up. I mean, not that it matters that much, but, Walter did point it out. So I thought I had to justify it. But anyways, that's on my door. And so I was playing around with the 3D printer. When am I not? And I saw these two models. This little snail. I made the little snail first, and then I blew him up to the bigger one. And he's actually designed so he can hold sticky notes or note cards or things like that. There's slits in the shell that hold things up. Yeah, a recipe card or something like that. Does anybody use recipe cards anymore? I don't know. I think we all use our iPads. And then the other one's the Twisted Eiffel Tower. And I made it in the smaller version first to see how it would turn out. And actually it printed very well. And I was sort of using my rainbow filament for the bigger one, but it doesn't look that rainbowy enough. That's the problem with rainbow filament. If there's not enough, it's long strands of color, and if it's doesn't use up a lot of filament, then you're not going to get the full rainbow effect. But I didn't think it was too bad at all. I thought it turned out pretty cool. So let's get out of that. Let's go over here and let's switch back and let's see what people are saying. Sort of a side sweep ducktail in front. Okay. It also means because my hair has gotten longer, it needs cutting. So when it starts to do that over that way, it definitely needs to be cut.
Gina in
Hi Gina in Hazel. Not sure how you say that. I'm close to Fort Worth, Texas. It's 94 Fahrenheit there, 34 C. Ooh, nice and hot. And she's working on some foundation paper piecing. Good for you. I don't do much of that. I have tried it. It's not something that grabs me. Hi, Brett from Oregon. Nice to have you here. Yeah, it looks complicated. Which the quilt? It was complicated. Yeah. Thanks, Patsy. No, I didn't give up, Laura. I hate to give up, but I can tell you that one is the first one that I've ever done that I have come very close to saying, screw it. It goes in the rag bag. Thanks, Janet. Marilyn says, I love the quilt. That's a lot of nice points. Yes, I got my points in. Thanks, Brett. Angel says, feathered stars are still the only thing I will tolerate 1/8 of an inch measurements. I don't think I've ever done a feathered star. And when I quilt it, I've already picked out, I have a maple leaf quilting pattern, edge to edge design that I'll think will look pretty good on it. I've got the hiccups again. You know, every time I make a video, I get the hiccups. I don't know why. Thanks, Laura. It says door hanger quilt's really lovely. The snails are cute. Yeah, they're fun. And Jen says your shirt is lovely, Walter.
Yeah.
Actually, shirts. You made both. Well, thank you, Patricia. Okay, so anyways, that's what we have been up to. So we had craft and chat this past Wednesday. First Wednesday of every month is craft and chat. It's kind of a subdued craft and chat I found this time, which actually didn't bother me too much because I was screwing around with that quilt and I needed to concentrate. I think everybody was working away and we're getting things done. It's just usually it was a little bit more chatty, I thought. So
yeah,
but that's okay. It doesn't have to be real chatty. So the next one will be the first Wednesday in July, whenever that is. And I hope more people can come.
I find I tend to get more focused and get stuff done when I go in craft and chat.
Yeah, I think it's because you're in amongst a bunch of people that are all working at the same time too. And yeah, hi Anne from Owen Sound. Yeah, but I guess everybody had a good enough time. Now there were a couple of newbies came on. We had actually for the first time ever on Craft and Chat, we were almost evenly split between males and females, and that is not usually the case. But we had a new guy come on, and he didn't last long. So I don't know, maybe we scared him away, or wasn't what he was expecting, or whatever. Which I hope he wasn't disappointed. If you're listening to this, that person, write me a comment. Let me know if there's something that you didn't feel comfortable about, or did you have something else on you had to do and you're just checking in to see what it was all about. Whatever. Original Stitches says, I love your t-shirts. Glad to hear that you made them.
Technically they're not t-shirts. They're button-up shirts with collars and everything. So
I wouldn't be wearing it if it was a t-shirt. Hi, Pat.
Actually, I don't think I've ever made a t-shirt. I actually had one that I was making, and then I set it aside. I haven't finished it. And t-shirts aren't that hard to make.
I don't like t-shirts. I never wear t-shirts. I've never wore a t-shirt. Even as a kid, I didn't wear t-shirts. I just don't like them.
I never used to like wearing them, but I've been wearing them a lot lately.
Well, yeah, but you've gone to that. I'm retired and I want to look like a bum look. Yeah. And it's working for you. It really is. Yep, you look like a bum. Yep, you can wear it like a bum. You look like a bum. Okay, wear it. Well, whatever. Um, oh, Shirley. Oh, it was autocorrect. Okay. Yeah, let's blame it on autocorrect, shall we? Out of it all. That's a good excuse. It's the modern way. Oh, yeah, it was autocorrect. Yeah, I didn't really mean to swear at you. It was autocorrect. Yeah. So another event that is coming up, though, speaking of events. Now, this is not, I am part of this event, but I'm not really an organizer of it. If you know Brenda from Conquering Mount Scrapmore, in fact, I've done an interview with Brenda and have back a couple of months ago, probably now. Brenda's a regular on Craft and Chat too. So those of you that have been there, you know who Brenda is as well. Hi, Eddie. Um, and so uh, they're doing this. They've done it once before. She gets together with several other YouTube creators, people who have YouTube channels about sewing or quilting or whatever. And they put on a day, like a retreat, a 1-day retreat, a 12-hour thing. That's all done by Zoom. It's free. Everybody is welcome. Doesn't matter what your creation is. It can be anything. Kind of like the way I run Craft and Chats. And everybody gets together and has a nice, pleasant day sewing. Now, they do say that they have games and things too, but I was on the first one that they did, and I don't remember playing any games. Maybe there was, or maybe after I left they did something. I don't know. Not that it matters. Anyways, so Brenda asked me to join the team as one of the co-hosts. So I said yes, and so I am doing this, and I'll be advertising it with the links and everything, and the YouTube channels of the other co-hosts, so you can check them out as well, so get a feel for things. Now, it is on July the 22nd, which is a Friday. It's during the day, so that puts it up a little bit of a problem for people who work. However, it is going for 12 hours, and it's Mountain Time. I'm in Eastern Time Zone, so it says it runs from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. If you're in the Eastern Time belt, like I am, that means it starts at 11 a.m. and runs to 11 p.m. I guess if you're out on the West Coast, it would be 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., right? Let's see, yeah, if it started at Mountain Time is at 9, yeah, the BC, West Coast would be an hour before that. So yeah, 8 to 8. I guess the whole idea here is having a 12-hour span is that more people can join from different time zones at different times. And of course, you don't have to be there for the whole day. It's like how I run my retreats and my Craft and Chat, come and go as you please. I don't think I'll be staying for the full 12 hours. But I will have it in my videos, the notes for it, or the information about it, and there'll be a link to the other co-hosts' YouTube channels. On So Chatty, each week I'm going to feature one of those creators as well, because most of them have made little blurbs about their YouTube channel that run about a minute and a half. So I'm going to insert those into Sew and Chat each week, and so you'll get a feel for who's there. And you may discover some new YouTube channels that you'll find interesting that you don't know about. So as I said, you'll hear more about it as time goes on and we get closer to the date, but I thought I'd give you an advance notice about it. Let's see, what are people saying? Eddie said he had a storm come up through during Craft Chat and had to leave. Oh, okay. I thought you might have been going to bed, Eddie, because you work nights all the time, don't you? Lynn says, Brenda is who motivated me to start quilting. Yep. Well, Brenda is the principal organizer of this, and she's got lots of things planned, I think, for it. Jeannie says, I was so organized for Craft and Chat that I kept so busy that I forgot to chat. Yeah, I know. Just a pleasant day. I'm tearing paper off the backs of my New York beauty points while listening to other quilters live stream. Well, that's always fun. Walter, if you ever need help with your sewing, you can reach out to me. I have made just about everything, even my husband's suit. I also taught sewing. So there you go. Shirley's
Okay.
a good
Thank you
source.
very much. I'll keep that in mind. Thanks very much.
And Shirley is, I mean, you just have to watch one of Shirley's videos. They're so well done. They're so clear. And you can tell she taught sewing. Yeah, for sure. Suzanne says, hi, Suzanne. Laura. Hi, Laura. Good afternoon, both. Everyone else from Arizona. Must be hot in Arizona. Probably fry an egg on a sidewalk there, or on a cactus, cacti, whatever it is. So, yeah, so that's coming up. All right, so on to the main event. It is Pride Month, okay? Actually, if we weren't doing this today and I had a meeting earlier, I had my craft and chat group, my art journal group, earlier this afternoon. There is a pride festivity in our area in a town 2 towns over from us. We haven't had one of those in a couple of years because of COVID. I don't feel I'm missing anything.
Well, is it today?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's probably why.
That's why you're not hearing from Brendan. He'll be at that. Yeah, okay.
I didn't realize it was today. I thought it was next weekend.
No, it was today.
Oh, okay.
And that. So we missed it.
Oh,
but we didn't miss much. I'm pretty sure of that. We used to do the Pride Parade in Toronto. Now, Pride Parade in Toronto is not until the end of the month. And it's huge. It has over 1 million people come out to it, and it's a zoo, a real zoo. And that's why we don't bother with it anymore, because you literally cannot move. And I mean,
yeah, and it's kind of because there's so many people, then everything's packed, everywhere's packed. You can't move anywhere, and it's just,
yeah, you just can't move. And it's a whole lot of straight people who come out to see the freaks, okay? Because that's what it is. Some people choose to think that these are all allies. If you don't understand the terminology, we're coming to that. But no, there are people who come out and want to drink beer and watch.
Well, a lot of younger people come out to basically have a big party.
And everything like that. And I'm not saying I'm against that, or whatever. It's just that has made it's inaccessible. If you want to see the parade, you've got to stake out your position for the parade early in the morning. The parade doesn't usually happen until about the middle of the afternoon.
And it often goes on for several hours.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we went a few years ago, and it was we ended up stop watching the parade for a bit. It gets bad. The crowds get really pushy, and
yeah,
it's just not.
And there are people there that are drunk, that are high. I mean, there is a police presence there in the whole bit, but there's just so many people, they can't control it. Now, having said that, they're not usually too unruly. It's one of the safest events Toronto runs every year. So it's really
and
not
they
bad.
haven't had it the last couple of years because of COVID. So, but
I think it'll be wild this year.
It'll probably be wild this year
because, for the gay community, they haven't had this so in 2 years. They're just itching to get out there and party. And some people, they make this is a big event. I remember the very first Pride Parade we ever went to in Toronto was about 1984. I think it was 84 we went, and it was 1 block long, and it was on, the street in Toronto that runs parallel to Yonge Street, which is the major downtown street in Toronto. It's 2 blocks over, 1 block long, and that's where all the gay bars, such as they were in those days, they were all located there. The parade was over in 5 minutes. But it grew from that, and it just got bigger and bigger and bigger to the point now the whole gay district of Toronto is completely shut down for the whole weekend. Actually, I think they start shutting it down about Thursday, and right through to Sunday. They have beer gardens, beer tents. They have performance stages at various parts of it. It runs, I don't know, 5, 6 city blocks in length. There's vendors, there's food, and you can't move at all. And if you want to see the whole spectrum of the rainbow, it is there. You will see everything. And I think that's why a lot of straight people come out to it, because it's sort of like Halloween in June. Except louder. Very loud. So yeah, we don't do it anymore.
Yeah, we used to have friends, we still have friends as far as I know, that live down there, down in the Central Core. And we used to go visit them on the weekend, and we'd stay with them, and then we'd go out. But we stopped doing that last few years because it's just been too busy. And even they were not doing it as much either, because even though they live down there, so.
Yeah. Well, you know, we are a couple of old queens. We're not the young guys we used to be anymore. Yeah. And, you know, I'd rather watch it on TV. I don't even know if they're going to broadcast it on TV this year or not. I haven't heard. Well, they probably will. Yeah. They usually do, but it's usually not on, like it's on like something like one of the news channels or something, and that kind of thing. So it's, if you want.
When is Toronto's this year? Do you know?
Well, it's the last Sunday of.
It's the last Sunday of June. Okay.
It's always the last Sunday of June. So, yeah. Now I don't know if that coincides with the long weekend again. They started that a few years ago, July 1st weekend, which is Canada Day. There's been a few parades and that have coincided with that, the long weekend, and then it's even crazier because everybody's there for Canada Day long weekend. So yeah, I don't know, you're looking that up. So yeah, it's quite an event. So what are people saying here? Yeah, Barb, I agree. I don't like big crowds either. Thanks, Shirley. Just make the checkout to me and make sure it's got 6 digits in it before the decimal point. Julie says humans like to watch a spectacle, and that's what a parade is. Yep. And you know, it's not a parade. They used to, in the back years ago, they used to have great big huge floats. They were sponsored by bars and by companies and things like that. But over the last few years, or at least the last time we went, there weren't as many of those, and it was mainly interest groups, special interest groups marching, you know, NDPs for gays, I don't know, Queens for a day, or whatever. It was all the various groups marching, which after a while, that's just kind of boring. Of course, you have to expect to get wet, because years ago, I guess they got started with these water guns and super soakers, and the people in the parade are shooting everybody watching with it, but the crowds got smart and armed themselves with water guns as well, and it's just, you have to expect you are going to get soaked. It doesn't matter where you are in the parade lineup, you're going to get soaked.
Sunday, June 26th.
Yeah, okay. So that's not the long weekend then. Long weekend will be the weekend after.
Yeah, okay, that's good.
So that's good. Yeah, with that. Angel says, hope everyone has a good week. I'm on pepper duty and break is over. Okay, keep those we're having a shortage of green peppers here, Angel. Walter went out to get green peppers and came home with orange and red.
Yeah, there's a lady standing in front of the peppers. There were yellow ones, orange ones, and red ones. And she kept staring and staring, and I said to her, "You're not going to turn any of them greens."
Yeah. So Laura says, how long has the Pride Parade been going on? Was it around or just before 1984? It was a couple of years before we went in 84, I think.
No, actually, I think it did start sometime in the 70s, but it was then it wasn't actually a parade. It was a bunch of people got together on Toronto Island and had a party. Yeah. And I'm not sure when the parade actually started, but I do remember watching one in the mid 80s or whatever.
Yeah.
The first time we
ever went.
We went because we had friends that lived downtown, and we were visiting them, and they said, "Oh, the parade's this weekend." So we went out and saw, and it was like about 3 floats and and
2 drag queens.
3 floats and about 20, I don't know, about 100 people watching it.
Yeah. Well, remember too, we were very fashionably dressed. If I remember, there is a picture of us.
Yeah.
I was wearing all red, my
Mm.
red shorts with my red shirt with some kind of stripe on it. And I think you were wearing green or
No, I
something.
was wearing that teal color.
Yeah. Talk about looking like a couple of fruits.
And we were skinny. We were skinny in those
Yeah,
days.
we were skinny and you had hair and
I had hair.
I had bigger hair.
I had dark hair.
I had really big hair, but whatever, flock of seagulls hair. I was streaked in those days. I used to streak my hair. It wasn't natural in those days. My hair then was still
However,
kind of
in
dark.
those days, in the early days, only gay people watched the parade, and there were only gay people in the parade,
Yeah,
and people stayed away from that area when it was happening.
yeah,
Regular people, straight
regular
people, or
people.
straight people, or whatever. There was no corporate sponsorship. Nobody would sponsor it from a corporation because they did not want to be associated with the gay community. So it was it was a very different event.
Well, even for ourselves, we went incognito to a certain extent. Like we weren't out.
Yeah, we did not want to be identified.
We
as
didn't want to
gay,
be
so-
identified as that. So, we kept a very low profile, although the outfit I was wearing was not a low profile.
Well,
outfit,
no,
but-
I know. If anybody had tried, if you were walking around downtown Toronto on an afternoon or something like that, and somebody, or in the gay district or something, you'd get a bunch of yahoos that would drive down
Yeah.
past you and yell a nasty comment.
Well, there was always the chance of being gay bashed
Yeah.
as well in those days. I mean, it was still that was rare thing to happen in Toronto even, but it still happened. So, we had a low profile. I'd only been teaching 2 years at that point, 3 years at that point. And at that point, if the board ever got wind, my school ever got wind that I was gay, that was grounds for firing, no questions asked. That
Yeah.
things have changed since then, thank God. But
Yeah, and I knew other people that were let go from their jobs because they were gay, and so you were careful not to expose that.
you didn't get, and
I mean, the company that I worked in didn't seem to care because there was a guy that was openly gay in my company, and they didn't really care. So
well, even the people who did come out to the parade to watch it, a lot of them were, even though the majority of them were, probably almost all of them were gay themselves, they too were low profile, because in those days things were, not great. I mean, we just had in 1982 the human rights, what do we call it?
code.
The Human Rights Code. But the Human Rights Code in 1982 did not include sexual orientation.
Yeah, that didn't come
That
till
came several years later.
in I think it was around the 90s. or
Yeah, I
something.
think so. So, we still did not have protection, as they say, at that. So it was a different time. But in some ways, it was also exciting because it was like, it's our dirty little secret. And we're down here. And also because we lived out here. You were working downtown at the time,
Yeah.
but in Toronto, but I was out here too. And you kept a low profile, and there wasn't a heck of a lot of a gay community out here. Well, there was a gay community, but we had underground dances that we could go to, and it was all like,
Very careful and hush.
hush hush,
And
bang
there
on the
were-
door,
there
a little
were,
slap.
there were people at the when they had the dances. There were people at the front door screening who was coming in.
Yeah.
So,
And we did not refer to ourselves as being gay, because that was a death sentence. You did not say that. And you had to be careful with who you associate it with, because, there's a spectrum of gay activity. And there's always a few in the gay crowd that are a little bit more out there, a little bit more flamboyant. So you kind of like didn't want to be seen with them. But when you went to Toronto, you could be anonymous, and you were in this community where there was all these guys
see, and that's what used
hanging
to
out
happen.
in bars.
Used to
and-
happen was a long time ago. Is why there were all these big gay communities in the big cities, was that people couldn't be themselves anywhere else in smaller towns, so
Yep.
they moved to the big city where they could all get together and feel like they were normal.
Yeah.
You
Normal.
know, or
Quit using that word.
no, feel like they were accepted in society. Like, and a lot of these guys, when they were younger, when families found out they were gay or something like that, they would exile them from the family and wouldn't talk to them anymore.
Yeah.
And we heard of that happening a lot, not so much these days, but much more. It was much more done much more in the past.
Yeah.
Especially people that were in more fundamentalist religious type group families and that.
Yeah. Well, when was the bathhouse raids in Toronto?
I think it was 1981 or 82.
Was it 81 or 82? Okay, so this is only a couple of years after that. That was our Stonewall here in Ontario, in Canada, was the cops raided some of the bathhouses and they published the names of guys they picked up there, and the gay community turned around and protested quite strongly. I mean, I don't remember much about it because we weren't really part of that, because that was in the city, kind of a thing.
And, no, the dances that we went to weren't rated.
No.
By that point in time, they weren't interested in doing that. And our dances were just dances.
They were just dances.
It was like if somebody walked in off the street, they would, and nobody was touching each other or something, you would think that it was just a
bowling league
dance because
there were women and guys
women
there.
And men were at the dances, so,
and that kind of thing. Those were fun in those days because, you know, we didn't have any other outlets with, you know, short of driving into Toronto, and, you know, there it was more of a sense of community out here at the time for all of that. So I kind of miss those days, but you can't go backwards. And well, we were 20 something in those days and in our early 30s. And so, yeah, those days are done behind us. Catching up here. Julie says, did Canada have an AIDS quilt back in the 80s? I
don't think so.
We have one now?
I don't think we ever had one. I think there may have been, I don't know if there were panels added to the American one or not. I don't know from Canada.
I think there were. I think there were some that came from Canada and they added it to the American one. I think I read that somewhere.
I know there was there's a wall in Toronto that lists people that have passed away.
The AIDS Memorial.
Yeah.
That's down in what is considered the gay village in Toronto. And that's a fairly extensive installation there as well. So yeah, we have that, but I don't know if we ever had a quilt. Michael Allen, Paul. Okay. I've been going to San Francisco Pride Parade since the late 70s. My husband and I take our Vespa scooters to San Francisco and even rode at the end of the parade before COVID. Long arm quilting since 1997. Well, you've done everything, haven't you? Yeah, we were in the parade. We've been in the parade several times, but one year we joined. I don't know why we did.
It was because of Michael, the guy I used to work with. We joined a gay square dancing group, and we gay square danced all the way through
on the parade route. But the problem was we were beginners. We were in this thing, right? And we're on the street, and we couldn't hear the caller. So because of the crowds were so loud, and I mean, it was claustrophobic. You're going down a street, the crowd is not, you could reach out and touch people, and they're on each side of you, and there are probably 5 or 6 rows of people on either side deep. And they're all hollering and hooting, and they blow these bloody whistles. Oh, God, they ought to ban those from a pride parade because you come home with a headache. Everybody's tooting on a whistle. Anyways, they're there, and we couldn't hear the caller, and nobody knew what they were doing. Of course, the experienced ones, they were throwing us around into the moves. Don't go over here. I mean, it was a kind of a physical trial we were going through. Won't do that again. Well, we only lasted for about a year in the this this thing, because there's nothing gayer than a square dance, a square dance club for gays. Just there's nothing gayer. I can't explain it to you. I mean, we went to their convention, and like they have gay square dance clubs all around the world. And they have these conferences, and it just happened to be that the year we had joined, they had the conference in Toronto, and we went to it. It was scary. It was very, very scary, because if you've ever square danced or not, you depend upon what the caller is going to tell you to do. So you have to know about 3,000 different moves, it seems. And we didn't know that many of them.
And then if somebody because we were new to it, we'd get in with somebody that was a little bit more advanced, and then they'd get ticked off at us.
Oh, they get ticked off royally at us. And the worst were the lesbians, because there were lesbians in the group too. And okay, they're strong ladies. There's no two ways about it. And I remember one, I ended up in her square, and somehow, because you switched partners out or something, they mixed it up. And she just literally grabbed my arm, and she's whipping me around. Like at one point, it's over my head. Like, wow, wow, wow. I mean, to this day, it's amazing that arms can grow back. I mean, she was a tough square dancer. And we had little outfits. Every one of the groups had designer shirts. And they were all in a Western theme. Actually, the ones we had weren't bad. They were the Western kind of denim, white denim shirt, and they had embroidered on them maple leaves in the colors of the
maple
rainbow.
leaves all the way down the side.
Yeah, that's right.
In rainbow colors. So
we must have got rid of those.
Actually, I think I still have them in the closet.
Oh, do you still have them? Well, anyways, we wouldn't fit in them now. But it was kind of scary. But they had some fun events, like they had lunch. We paid, like this is a paid event. Like you pay several $100s just for, to be part of it. Then there's your accommodation, and then there's special luncheons with celebrities, sort of. What was it? Tea with the Queen.
Yeah.
And the Queen was a queen, but it was supposed to be.
Funny,
it was funny. It was hilarious. But this event we did not partake in. We'd heard rumors about it. We didn't even think it really was for sure that it existed. What did they call it? The one? The nude square dancing?
Yeah, it was. I don't know. It was a night. It was a couple of square dances that they did completely naked.
But you went into one of the ballrooms. Now, this was at the Royal York, which is a
large hotel.
A large, famous, high-end hotel right downtown Toronto. And I guess you went in the ballroom, clothed to start with. Then they shut the doors, locked them, and they covered the keyholes and the cracks of the door with duct tape, so nobody on the outside could peek in. And then people shed everything except you could leave your shoes and socks on, and away they go. They square dance. Oh my God, we didn't do it.
They were not a pretty crowd.
They weren't a pretty crowd. So yeah, on top of all, but I'm just thinking, there's a lot of reaching and grabbing here, and sometimes you slip.
And it was mixed. It was both male and female. So.
And you grab parts that you're supposed to not grab during the square dance. And I mean, certain things will start to flop, because square dancing is very vigorous.
Naked square dancing at the Royal York. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was something. It was one of those things that I'll never, well, not the naked square dancing, but I mean the whole event I'll never forget.
My friend Michael did it. But Michael's sort of an exhibitionist anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. It definitely, I think, appealed to the nudist group in there as well. So, yeah. Anyways, it was an event, but So we did square dancing in a pride parade once. And of course, I used to march with OSSTF. OSSTF is the Ontario Secondary Schools Teachers Federation, the union. Used to march with them several years in a row as well. We'd have a contingent from our school district there as well. And did you ever march in anything else besides that?
I don't
No, I
think
think
so.
we just square dancing, and mostly it was OSSTF that
Yeah.
we did it with as well. Um, it's a little overwhelming. It can be.
Yeah, it's overwhelming when you're in the parade.
Yeah, because all these people just, you can't see anything except people as you're marching in it, and everybody's yelling and screaming. Ah!
Anyway,
You'll never be so sick of the colors in the rainbow until after you've been to a major pride parade. I can tell you that. What's these other questions here? I'm missing stuff. Eddie says, Stephen Walter, remember when you were 25 and couldn't wait for Pride Week? The parties, the drinking, the dancing. Now
Actually-
you'd rather go to a fabric store.
I hadn't met Steve when I was 25.
No,
Not
actually,
really.
no, and I wasn't really out at 25.
No, at 25, I didn't
Well,
do
you would-
anything gay.
No, you met me. You were 25 when you met me.
Yeah, but at the end of 25, I was 26 and
Well, I was going on. No, I was 26 when I met you. You were 25. You no, yeah, you turned 25.
I met you in December.
That's right.
So
in
I
January,
turned
you
January.
turned
I turned
25.
25.
Well, okay.
No, I turned 26.
Yeah, you turned 26.
Yeah.
That's right. I was all right. Okay, whatever. Old farts.
I didn't do anything gay before then. I was straight.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Laura says, "Well, I can't imagine what that would have been like for you both to keep a low profile." Yeah, well, it was hard. That's a whole different story. Did those underground dances get raided? Nope, never. In fact, some of the people that were at them were cops. And visit some quilt shops. Yeah, I wasn't quilting in those days, that's for sure. Dosito. Hi, Marie. Pictures? No, well, no, we don't really have pictures of
that weekend.
of those times. No, we don't. Do you have line dancing in Canada? We did, thank God. People think it sucks. Yeah.
I don't know. There was some groups in Toronto that were into that, but
Yeah.
we never got involved with them. So
No. Although there was a gay bar in Toronto. Remember Remington's?
yeah.
Oh no, and Chaps.
No,
They
it
used-
was Chaps that was
Yeah, they did.
Remington's was strip club.
Was it?
Yeah, Remington's was the strip club.
No, okay. What was that country and western bar that didn't last very long? I thought it was called Remington's. Maybe it was Mavericks or something. Or it had a western name to it.
something in Mavericks. or
Yeah,
something.
whatever. I think it was called Remington's then. I think that was before the strip club
No,
thing.
no,
Well,
no, it was-
whatever. Fine. I don't remember. So there was this one gay bar that kept changing all the time. I mean, one time they were very electronic, then they were industrial music, and then they went country and western and had line dancing.
Yeah.
And the gay boys loved their line dancing, believe me, at that point in time. I don't know if they get into that much anymore. Who knows? It's been so long. Barb says, "How did you two meet?" Well, that's an hour and a half conversation. The old-fashioned way. Personal columns in a local newspaper.
Actually, in actually Toronto newspaper, Toronto Star.
Toronto Star when that existed. Yeah. Have you guys seen the reboot of The Kids in the Hall? Buddy Cole's back. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. We only got into the first 2 or 3 episodes, and I don't think I can take that anymore.
No. They're pretty stupid. I don't know. That old men shouldn't try to recapture their youth in that manner. I don't think. Yeah, so anyways, what we wanted to talk about though today that's related to Pride is we want to talk about the labels. Because things have gone crazy with the labels. Now, before we get into discussion, I want to make a disclaimer. There are just a ridiculous number of labels in the LGBTQ community. Even that has lengthened to every letter in the alphabet. And quite frankly, from my point of view, I'm tired of the label business. I don't think it does anybody any good. But having said that, I know there are some people who would disagree with me on that strongly. So I don't want hate mail out of it all. It's just my opinion. But first of all, we're going to start with the pride labels. And let me just gather something here to show you. Yeah, here we go. And I'll switch over. Okay. LGBTQIA2S+. There's actually more letters than just all of this. Do you know what all these letters mean? Well, I don't. We had to kind of look them up. I mean, some are very obvious because they've been around for a while. LGBT, like lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgendered. Q is questioning or queer. I is, now here's where we get weird. So let's go down the page. Okay, so sexual orientation and gender orientation are the first of the letters, pretty much. Then you get the T, which I said is transgender. Now, cisgender, they put this in there. It's not in this. But okay, these two, transgender, is a gender identity that does not correspond with the gender assigned at birth. Well, right now, we've heard about that. We know about that. There is a big movement to get that recognized, to educate the public. And I'm all for that. I definitely do believe that there are people who are not comfortable in the body they were born in. They identify with the opposite sex. And there's a lot of hell for them when they try to live their truth, as they call it now. And I get it. And they deserve to be respected. Because I think all of us, if we look inside ourselves, we all realize that we probably have a mixture of both the feminine and the masculine. And whatever part of that comes out depends on what we're doing or who we're with or whatever. And I think it does need to, these individuals do need to be recognized in our society and need to have the same respect as anybody else. I don't have a problem with that. Cisgender is a gender identity that does correspond with the gender assigned at birth. Okay, I am a cisgender male. So is Walter. I identify as being a male. I don't need to have a label that says that. I'm a male. Okay? Why do I have to call myself a cisgender? In fact, I don't even like that term because that suggests sissy. You know, when you sissy gender. I don't know about that. Intersex is what the I means. Means you're born with biological traits that are outside the strict male-female gender binary, such as anatomy, chromosomes, and hormones. Examples include Turner syndrome, androgen, I can't say it, androgen insensitivity syndrome, and Klinefelter syndrome. Being intersex is not the same thing as being transgendered. So basically, that's suggesting biological parts that are not usually associated with the sex that you're born into. Like, you know, there are people, they used to call it, old term, I forget, hermaphrodite.
Yeah.
You know, they had both
male and female parts
with it, but that's no longer in fashion to say that. Non-binary typically is a descriptive of someone whose gender identity is not exclusively male or female. I don't have any problem with that. Their pronouns are they, them, and their. That's fine. Just another term. Genderqueer. Okay, now we're getting into weird things. And when I say weird, I mean things that I don't know about. I don't mean weird as in a negative way, just different, I guess. Typically is outside of, in between, or fluctuating between binary gender categories of male and female. Genderqueer relates to the spectrum of both queer identity as well as gender expression. That is, they may move fluidly between identities of male and female, and separately may move fluidly between masculine expression and feminine expression. Huh?
Now we're getting really complicated. not sure if I really fully understand.
I don't fully. Well, okay, like I just said, we're all a combination of both the feminine and the masculine, and
Like, I
one
mean, you could always turn around and say that, and maybe I'm taking this too simply, is that because we both sew, that's often identified with something
as
feminine.
being more feminine.
Yeah.
So I don't like football. So does that mean
Yeah, I'm not into any kind of sports.
So that means we're not being very male there. We're being like in the more stereotypical roles of male and female. But I think we're all a little gender queer then. Move fluidly between the identities of male and female. Okay, there are those people who won't be caught dead in a tutu, and there'll be ones who won't be caught dead in a pair of
I'm not
pants.
sure
I don't
who
know.
would consider themselves that. But anyway.
Well, I think there are extremes. There's the rednecks out there. I'm a guy, and I don't do woman things, and I don't know with that. So moving on, Two-Spirit. Okay, Two-Spirit is indigenous peoples. Okay, native people. Refers to indigenous people who express their gender or sexual identities as different from others. Not all indigenous individuals who are not cisgender or heterosexual will identify as two-spirit, but all two-spirit individuals identify as indigenous. Some nations hold space for more than two genders, such as Dine, the Anishinaabe, and the Lakota. I probably said that one wrong.
Yeah.
Okay, it is definitely something that is with indigenous people, and the way I understood it is that they basically have both the feminine and the masculine in themselves, and they are considered in the indigenous people, again, from what I've read, they're held in very high regard within the community. They're seen almost as holy people, to lack of a better term for it. So they're special. They are not discriminated against as two-spirited. They're actually celebrated. So that's some of the terminology. Now, if you go back up here, the A, there's all kinds of different things for the A.
I think it's asexual, isn't it?
Asexual. Yeah, I guess it's asexual. Meaning
they don't like
you don't have sex, I guess. Two-spirit and plus. And then they often put an A in, though, that could be an ally.
Yeah.
They've put that in. And they've even put in
well, you can scroll down a bit there, and it says what it is in this context. So
did I miss that?
Yeah, it said it says there.
Oh, asexual.
Asexual and two-spirit.
Okay, but I've also seen another A put in there that means allies, which are straight people who support the gay community, or
So you will see all kinds of different variations. Usually it's LGBTQ something.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's ridiculous. People make jokes about it having every letter of the alphabet in there. And I agree. We need a different term. Well, they do have a different term. They shorten this to the queer community. Now, I just listened to a podcast the other day where they talked about the use of the word queer and how the LGBTQ plus community has taken it back to make it something positive, because the word queer has associations with negativism, because when we were kids and growing up, you heard the term, well, if they're queer, that meant strange, weird, and not in a positive way with it all. So I do not like that word, and I will not use that word. Now, in this podcast I listened to, they said, well, you should use the word because and he did a historical thing about it, and apparently there is a lot more to the word queer than what I just said, that goes way back centuries and stuff like that. But to me, the word will always mean that you are weird, you're not wanted, you're not accepted, you are strange. So I don't use that word. However, the younger generation use it frequently. And I guess it's like our language is always changing. So I guess maybe in another generation's time, that word will be the norm. And that's what the meaning of it will be. It will have a more positive meaning.
Yeah, I know. But the thing, too, is that when we were younger and we realized that we were gay, we were focused on gay. And then we saw lesbians. We knew about bisexual people, and we knew about transgendered people. We didn't know about all these other variables.
And
when we were younger.
No, and they are constantly adding to it. Here's a list of new terminology. You've got aces or asexual people. We talked about that. AGs or aggressives. Lesbians who express themselves in a masculine manner, such as by binding their breasts. They're also called studs. The term is more commonly used in communities of color.
I've never heard of that.
No, we just call them bull dykes. But I mean, I don't know. Agender people. Individuals identify as not having a gender. Some describe themselves as genderless, while others see themselves as gender neutral. Okay. All romantic people. Individuals who experience romantic attraction to others of any gender. People
so they'll do anybody.
Yeah, I guess. They're just greedy. I mean, really, they're just greedy.
I'm just sorry.
But yeah, we're making some fun of this. But I mean, I thought that term, there was a term back, pansexual.
Yeah,
I thought that's what pansexual was.
Yeah.
But apparently, this is the new one. Allosexual or Z-sexual people, individuals who express sexual attraction to others of any gender. How's that different from
I don't know.
Alloromantic? Or allosexism, the societal institution and individual beliefs.
You can't go down this entire list because there's.
Well, I'll just pass around. Look. Biromantic, boys. Individuals assigned female at birth who identify their gender as non-binary because they are not male identified. They are boys, not boys. Okay, butches. Well, I know what that is. Then the cisgender cross-dressers, they don't like that anymore. Demigender, just gods, I guess. Demis or demisexual. Didactic people, didactism, femmes, gay men, gender binary. It goes on. It goes on. Like I said, every letter of the alphabet except J.
So what it goes back down to is, why do we need all this?
Like, what does this do? How does this make our society better by having all of these labels? And that's really the whole issue I want to talk about. But just before we do, there's another one, types of gender identity, same kind of thing. Last year, gender neutral pronouns, what they are and how to use them. Now, I know about they, them, and their, but now they're saying that.
No, I think a lot of them are translated to other languages. If you scroll up.
Oh, are they?
Because no, down. Keep going down. It says he, she, z, I, v, they. I think those
are other languages.
Other languages, I think.
Okay.
And so there's he, she, him, her, his, her, his, hers, himself, herself. Right? This is actually a work type thing that they suggested.
This isn't another language. This is in place of these. So instead of saying them, their, or they for like a non-binary, you could use zer.
No. It says, however, there are more traditional gender-neutral pronouns you can introduce into your everyday conversation, regardless of the individual. They, them, their, everyone, and that person. When in doubt, refer to someone by their name rather than him or her.
Yeah, it's safer. You won't get cut up for doing that. But yeah, is this getting ridiculous or what? There's also flags. There is a flag for everybody. I don't know how to blow it up on here. Oops. Here, up here. Okay. So gender fluid, gender queer, non-binary, agender. You know, the reason that the rainbow flag was created, it originally had 8 colors. It now only has 6. But the whole idea of that was the rainbow. The idea that it encompasses everyone under the rainbow. But that's not good enough anymore for these other groups. They want their own flag. And I have no idea what the colors mean. I'd have to research it.
I know there's a transgendered flag. There's a bisexual flag and other ones.
Yeah,
that we
I know.
Don't have listed,
but
so.
I've never seen these flags.
No,
but now we have
I only saw them because I looked them up.
But I mean, like, wow. All of this. So why are we talking about this today? Let me just switch back over to us. Here we are. So, oh, I have my rainbow lights going. How appropriate. Well, before I start that, let's just see what people are saying here. Marilyn says that must be like the guy Jonathan on Queer Eye. He dresses as both male and female. Yeah, yeah. So how is queer gender different than non-binary then? I don't know, Laura. I really don't know. Patricia says I don't like labels either. Yeah, that list is your homework, Brett says, for a test. Yeah, really. Marie says I don't claim to have a lot of knowledge, but cisgendered seems unnecessary. Actually, Marie, I would agree with you. I don't know why. You hear people do this though. Now, mind you, it is not people in my age group that usually do this. It's younger people, and they'll come in and they greet somebody. Hi, my name is Steve. I'm a cisgendered male. My pronouns are he and him. Okay. Great on a business card. I don't know
Yeah,
why.
I mean, people from our generation tend not to be, because this is new stuff that has occurred the last few years with us, and it's not something we grew up with.
No. So it's not an automatic thing. Yes, people say, well, times change, you have to keep up, you have to be, well, it's all part of that political correctness thing, isn't it? And you know how I feel about political correctness. But, okay, I get it though with someone that's non-binary. All right. They're just stating, hi, my name is Pat. My pronouns are they, them, and their. Okay. You're just letting me know so that you know how to address me respectfully. Okay. That's great. I mean, back in the day, we were all told when we were kids that older people we addressed as Mrs., Miss, or Mr. Well, I guess now you address them by their pronouns, whatever, or by their name, of course. I mean, the name is always the best way to go, as that article said, too, so you don't, misgender. But it's going to happen for people like me, especially. I have trouble keeping it straight, not slipping into it, because they, them, and their are possessive forms of pronouns. They're possessive pronouns. In a sentence, when I'm referring to something singularly, I will naturally go to the singular pronoun. It's very unnatural for me as an English speaker to like, I have to force myself to think about it and do it. And you don't always think, right? So I mean, I try, but I think it also takes on somebody who uses those pronouns. It's also, they must realize, given who they're talking to, that it might be a bit awkward for them. So not
until it becomes absolutely normal in society.
Yeah, and it's going to take a generation before it becomes absolutely the norm. The language will change. The language is always, English language especially, is a living language. It's constantly under change. We add so many new words to the English language dictionary every year. And so it will keep evolving. However, I can try, but don't bite off my head if I slip, because if you're standing in front of me and you obviously look a certain sex.
I mean, I get it sometimes I've been to somewhere, and they ask if I'm married, and I say yes, and they say, and your wife's name is what? And I have to say, my husband's name is Stephen. So, yeah. And they usually go, oh, sorry, but I mean, that's just an assumption. Even things like, I go in and somebody asks what my doctor's name is. They'll often say what his his name. And I have a female doctor, so I always say her name is.
Yeah.
And
Like,
and it takes a while for people to get the hang of that.
and so what I'm saying is, yes, we can try. We can do that. And I think what maybe non-binary people are doing when they say my pronouns are, it's so that you know, because they don't usually, at least I haven't run into us, and I haven't, like, I'll be honest, I don't know a lot of non-binary people. But I've never really can think of anybody that walked up to me and says, hi, I'm non-binary and my pronouns are. It's usually like, my name is Chris and my pronouns are. Okay, so that says to me, all right, you're non-binary. Fine. Moving on. Okay. But there are so many different terms, and the whole point is they're labels. Yes, we are gay. I am a gay man. But the first thing that comes out of my mouth is not that when I meet somebody. Hi, my name is Steve.
Like, one thing that always
Not,
bothers
hi,
me.
I'm Steve and I'm gay.
One thing that always bothers me in media is that, like, you get a sports figure or an actor or something like that, and a lot of times they come out and say, this person who's a football player, he's openly gay, right? And I go, well, why should I care whether he's openly gay or not?
And that makes a difference to us.
He
Why?
shouldn't have. They shouldn't be telling you what his sexuality is. It's his business what he is.
But when you see this long list of labels that we just went through and the whole bit, that's exactly what that list suggests. It's a sexual identity. And we're more than just a sexual identity. All people are. We are more than a label. I happen to be, my name is Stephen, and I happen to be gay. But it doesn't define me. I'm also a quilter. I'm also a content creator on YouTube. I am also a retired school teacher.
You're also an idiot.
I'm also an idiot. I'm also a murderer, if you say that one more time out of it. I am many things, and those things change, and it depends on the context that I'm in. Okay? Why do I have to live up to a label? Because as soon as you label somebody, you are assigning a group of characteristics to them. And I'm sorry, it depends on the person who is using the label, or the person who is being told what the label is. What if they don't know who you are? What's that bring up in their concept? You get a redneck out there and you say, hi, I'm gay. They're immediately thinking, oh, you little pansy. Oh, I need to know how to put curtains up. Or oh, do you like dresses? Do you like the color pink? Do you talk with a lisp? Whatever. It's suddenly they've got these stereotypes. And these labels are supposed to be breaking stereotypes. I don't think they're breaking stereotypes. I think, if anything, they are creating stereotypes. Because they're little boxes. They're little tiny boxes. And being gay doesn't consume my life. It's like I do not have a pride flag that I carry with me all the time. I don't hand out cards with pride colors on them to people. I don't try to bring every conversation around that I'm in with other people to the gay agenda, as if there was one. I'm not trying to convert people to our way of life. And that's another thing. Gay lifestyle. You hear this all the time. The lifestyle. Huh? I don't have a gay lifestyle. I mean, what is a gay lifestyle? Someone needs to define that for me, because I don't think I'm living it. Are you living a gay lifestyle?
I don't think so either.
Yeah. And as the older I get, the less gay lifestyle. I don't know with it. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. But here's the thing. People who use these labels for themselves are doing an injustice to their personality, because, as I've said, some people will see them who do not know them. Oh, okay, so you are this label, therefore you must be this, 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 and this. And that's really kind of, a point form kind of chart, you know, checking off the marks, the ticking off the bullet points here about them. Oh yeah, so you're gay, so you don't like sports, you don't like women, well, we won't talk about the third one. You like to dress in flamboyant clothes, you're a great dancer, you love disco, you're sensitive, you know how to do hair and makeup, you know, all those things. No, I know lots of gay men who are into sports. I know lots of gay men who wouldn't be caught dead in anything that represented anything feminine to wear. We're all individuals. So I think it's doing damage. So I really think that the LGBTQ2TAI plus community has done an injustice to themselves. We're going the other way. In our day, we wanted to have equal rights with the rest of the community, the rest of society. We got in Canada finally legal right to marry. That was a major conquest. Okay. We are still not treated as completely equal to the rest of society. But then again, there are lots of ethnic groups, minority groups, women are not treated equal either. So we're just all part of that, aren't we? Is anybody treated absolutely equal in our society no matter what? I don't think so. I mean, we keep striving for it because that's the goal, right? But I think it's ridiculous. We're doing a disservice to ourselves in that. Why can't we just be people first who just happen to be gay or non-binary or lesbian or asexual or bisexual or all the other terms? Just happen to be, you know, not let's wear it as a placard around our neck with a big title and go, "Hi, I'm asexual." Well, that won't get you a date. But you know, like, why does it matter? It shouldn't matter. So what are people saying on here? I gotta get my screen back. Where's my screen? Oh, that was my screen, I think. Yes, it was. Crap. Get back here. Get back here. There we go. Okay, so just going to back up here on the comments because they're looking long. Dictionary, being politically correct has gotten way out of hand. That's definitely for sure. Well, Kathy says you can call them Mr. or how about MX? How do you say that though? Max? I don't know. Brett says, in a formal setting, this will be hard. Yeah. Why do we need the pronouns? Does not make sense. You are Mr. to me. Well, and I think the reason for the pronouns
is because, like, for non-binary, they don't identify as male or female.
And so certain people come with, even labeling yourself male or female, I suppose you can make the argument that those are labels and they come with them certain expectations, right? And non-binary people don't want those expectations placed on them. They don't want to be like, if it's a female, they don't want to necessarily be pigeonholed into the whole thing. Oh, well, if you're female, this characteristic. And they don't have necessarily those characteristics, or they don't identify with that.
Which I'm not 100% sure, because like I said, we don't know a lot of non-binary people. So we're more or less guessing or thinking of how it should be.
So excuse our ignorance about that topic.
Yeah. So I just say, as far as I know, they don't identify with either male or female. And so calling them a Ms. or a Mr. is not correct. They want to be called they or them or whatever, and they don't want to use the Ms. or Mr. or whatever.
No, on that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And as I said earlier, that's okay. You've let me know what your pronouns are, and I will try my best to honor that.
I mean, to get around it, you don't use the Mr. or
no,
Ms.
you
or
use their
anything.
name.
You just use their name.
Yeah. Anne says, I would probably say, hi, I'm Anne. I'm a BC. Bitch?
Uh,
uh, I'm not even living a straight lifestyle. Oh, okay. From what we were talking about before. This is still your day, guys. Okay. Makes me wonder if in future these labels will be eliminated. I think it would be a good thing if they were.
I think the problem is that a lot of people outside of the gay community don't even realize they are there.
Yeah.
You know, so
Laura says it shouldn't matter who you kiss goodnight.
yeah.
No, it shouldn't. But you see, there you go. You see, these labels have sexual connotations to them. And that's not good, because then that reduces us all to nothing more than sexual animals, kind of a thing. You know, what was it Trudeau said? The government has no place in the bedrooms of the nation, or whatever, however he put that. And I mean the old Trudeau, Justin's father. Barb says, I don't want to be labeled a straight person. I'm human, and that's it. Yeah, I think actually the word straight person is a derogatory term, because straight also sets up things like conservative, unbending, uncompromising, straight and narrow. Okay. Now, it is a term that is used within the LGBT community. Actually, I think it's being replaced now with the term ally. But even though I have problems with that term, because not all people in the non...
Hey, we don't have one yet that says non-LGBTQ.
Yeah. Yeah, right. Yeah.
We're missing that.
So I don't know. But you see, this is the complication with the labels. We're all full-blooded human, wish that was enough. Yeah, apparently it's not for some people.
Yeah, in Middle Ages, people were called by their profession.
Yeah, true. And that's how you got surnames, a lot of them. You know, Jim Taylor was a tailor. Came from tailors. Or
yeah. That doesn't explain the one that I knew in Holland. Never mind it, which it's not, shouldn't be say that.
Oh.
But anyway,
oh, something filthy?
Yeah.
Oh.
Anyways. Had to do with excrement and head.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, let's not get there. No, that might be just too much. I mean, this is adult conversation, but that might be too adult.
No, in Holland, there's like my last name is basically from the earth.
Oh, so you're dirt.
Yeah.
I don't know where bland comes from. Well, bland's Anglo-Saxon, actually.
Tasteless.
No.
Tasteless food.
Anglo-Saxon bland. Bland is an ancient word in the language. It comes from Anglo-Saxon. It means windy and stormy. And I much prefer that one.
Yeah, I think mine is supposed to be leader of the army. Well, Walter, first name.
Okay, G.I. Joe. Whatever. G.I. Walter. But I guess, yeah, the bottom line of all of this and why I wanted to have this discussion was I did get raked over the coals with a slip. I'm not going to go into the circumstances of it the whole bit, because I apparently had not used the correct pronouns. It was not on purpose. It was an innocent thing. Didn't even realize I hadn't. But I got nailed for that. And you know, want to know something? I will probably make that mistake again in the future. I will try not to, but I probably will. But be a little bit more than just your label. Aren't we all unique individuals? Don't we all have something to bring to the table? And it doesn't need a label for that. But I guess we're in a society obsessed with labeling. So, yeah. Patricia says, it's like me saying I prefer a certain sexual position. It's nobody's business. I shout it from the rooftop. Do you have pictures, Patricia? I just want to know, just in case. My great nephew turned 1 year old this year. He's named Walter. They call him Walt.
I go by Walt sometimes.
Doesn't like Wally though.
I don't like Wally. My mom used to call me Wally. Actually, Wally, when I was a kid, because she couldn't pronounce the W.
Wally.
But yeah, actually, there weren't a lot of Walters when I was growing up, and I have a.
What's an old man's name?
I have a feeling there aren't a lot of Walters these days.
Because it's associated with old men. Walter.
I very rarely run into another Walter.
Thank God. One of you is enough. Really. Uh-huh. Anyways, okay, so that was our insight today. Pride Month. I remember when it used to be just a day. Now it's a whole bloody month with that. So happy Pride, as they say. And yeah, have a good week. I think it's our time. It's time for us to go bye-bye and live our gay lifestyle. And my pronouns can be anything you want. Just never call me shithead. I don't like that one. Well, that's not a pronoun. That's a noun. So anyways, okay, enough for now. Okay, have a good weekend, everybody. And we'll see you next week. And yeah, check out the videos that come up this week. I actually have 2 interviews scheduled this week. I may be able to put one up on Tuesday. The other one will go the next week after. So, and they're both very interesting people. So we'll see you all. Have a good one. And say goodbye, Walter.